Hello everyone, welcome to another Torchlight Infinite video. It's been a while. I've been moving back and forth between characters since I haven't been able to find any other character or skill that clicks, that makes me want to play it any longer than a day. Except for Whirlwind, of course. And so I decided to start playing Iris. So Iris has 3 different spirits which can be played, each of them maybe in 2 or 3 different ways. So I think Iris has a very nice, very different things that you can do with her, to the point where she becomes really interesting. So let's go through gameplay first, because that's what matters in the end. Oh, this is T7. I think at the moment I can do T8 damage wise, but defenses are not there yet. You'll see soon. So my ES is very low. My resistances are capped out except for erosion, but the ES is very low for T8s at the moment. And I'm also not level 95, so I'm missing slates, which is like 60% of your damage. So as you may see here, this is basically Fire Spirit, but we're not doing hit Fire Spirit, we're doing Ignite completely with the relic. This is the clear setup, so they're not going into ultimate form because I don't have the relic yet to get the ultimate and the additional spirits, and clearing with only 1 spirit is just awful. It's terrible. I wouldn't submit anyone to that. Even if the skill is a AoE widescreen attack, it's still bad for clear on only 1. But you will see for damage. So what's the premise? The premise is Fire Spirit with this. So this makes them basically deal no hit damage. They deal like 1 hit damage, but they deal 100% additional DOT damage. Now, Fire Spirits have 2 DOT components. First of all, if you click here, and if you click on details, you will see these are the skills. So their basic skill is this one, Blazing Dance. This is just the base skill. It has a very low multiplier and nothing special about it. It's just like a cone that they shoot in front. Then they have the Empower skill. The Empower skill is like a buff that they will cast every time it's available on cooldown, but it has a very high cooldown and an average duration. So it's a 6 second duration with 10-second cooldown. So it's like it's a 60% uptime basically. And in the case of the Fire Spirits, the buff grants them like if you play PoE, that's like a Righteous Fire. So they have an aura that deals fire damage around them, fire damage over time. And they also get a massive amount of crit rates. Then they have their Enhanced skill. The Enhanced skill is what you want them to use most of the time. So this has a very high multiplier. It grants them additional damage if they deal a critical strike recently, and they get themselves more skill area if they are at least stage 3, which we have them as stage 5 every time. So they're getting this. And finally, the ultimate is the powerful ability. This is, as you can see, 566 multiplier. This goes up with minion level, so that's why Iris, this cannot be overstated. Iris wants skill level everywhere. Like if an item can have skill level, you want it. So right now I don't have the gear for I don't have much skill level. I only have +6. But you want massive numbers of skill levels, because that increases the base value, and it increases the percentages of the abilities as well. So what this does is changes the ultimate to this ability, which is 7 meter radius is like just around your characters. It's a big AoE. This amount of base damage, uh, and it has 2000% damage effectiveness is what I think this means. And all of the damage is added to basic knight. 100% of that is added to basic knight. You can have more than 100% damage added to basic knight, so that will mean tons of damage. And this also grants them the ability to reap, but you need to be sure that you put this in engram 4. Otherwise this doesn't work. Otherwise this just gives your damage. So it has to be here, always here. So whatever relic you get, you need to have this unlocked to put the relic here. I'm doing, this for them to lose less nourishment. This you don't get a choice here, but you want to stack 20% overcap fire resistance for them to deal more damage with the enhanced skills. For them to have more chance to use the enhanced skill. And I'm trying Wind Rider. I'm gonna go over it. So gear. I'm using the gear that I was using in my moto, so this is like armor and life, but I'm going energy shield. That's why the character is paper thin. But I want to build energy shield because I need spell skill level, which only rolls, if I'm not mistaken, on energy shield basis. I don't think you can get it on. You get melee skill here instead. So you want ES base to get spell skill level. Other than that, just defenses. But yeah, so it will be ES gloves. The boots, because I want the own additional stack of focus blessings. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, skill level is also an option here. Or just cold. So fire will be in boots. So maybe I forsake the ES boost for the armor boots. Could be an option. Rings, rings, you want this mod. Growth grants additional damage. Amulets, you can get 7 + 7 skill level from amulets. If you manage to craft something like that, which would be basically 1 from the implicit on the lunar corona, and you can get this one here, fire elevated to +2. It's actually no, it's not 7. Then it's 5. So +2 fire and +2 minion. That's a lot of damage just on the amulet slot. Or you can go for exquisite bot if you so prefer. In the armor, I want an ES base because of the minimum focus blessings. So that's why I'm going energy shield instead of going armor base for a little bit more damage. But if I find that the damage is more than sufficient, I might switch off some pieces back into armor. That's why. So basically, I don't have gear crafted for this character. The Fiend Crown, I'm replacing this for this. I eventually want to craft this with, again, minion skill level. Okay, you need this cooldown recovery speed for the Spirit Maggot's ultimate. So this is for every 100% growth. 100 growth, they're most of the time with this setup at 500. So that is 30% cooldown recovery speed for the ultimate. It's huge, because the ultimate is where their damage comes from. And regarding suffixes, probably some defensive suffixes in the body armor, in the helmet, but a chance to deal double damage is good. Minion crit damage, if it's an option, is good. Crit effect, no, aura effect is better. So all of that. That's the gear. This is motto. Active skill level does nothing for spirit mages since they are passive, not active. There is no damage here. There is some damage here with the +1. There's the Winter of Origin that was on my moto. It's also dirt cheap right now. I think the only expensive item is this. And I'm not actually triggering the curse because I have a candle for main skill, so that's why I cannot use it. And I'm going staff because of minimum channel stacks and because of the you can get up to 200% base skill as ignite damage here, which is it's better than the wand because you can only pass 1/1 to the minion and the minion will get like 100% base skill from the wand. But I think you can get more levels from wand. But like the biggest one for staff is minimum channel stacks, and you can get ultimate damage here as well. Spell crit actually works with the minions because when they crit, they reap. So you want them to crit. And the passive skills, yeah, you know, everyone uses this setup, so it's pretty standard. I actually got this from the ladder, you know, isomorphic for the passing the ignite base to the minion instead of you because you don't deal damage. Alchemist, we're going for source. The empower effect is great. It gives them more crit, and I think it gives them more damage to the AoE. I believe so. And also the sealed mana. The sealed mana is very important because we're aura stacking. I'm using Talons of the Abyss, and I got Battle Trumpet on a pedigree for the sake of having them use the enhanced skill, since you know it's enhanced skill is like 200% multiplier, whereas the base skill is 80%. So I don't want them to ever use the base skill, and I haven't been able to cap the base skill chance without that yet. But if I do, I might remove this pedigree and just keep Talons. Then in Steel Vanguard, you know, grabbing the aura stuff, grabbing the empower level, armor, really good for defense, some AoE. You want to have huge AoE. LE pen, really good as well. And you know, aura stacking, additional aura effect, and defensive skill level. And for the pedigrees, you know, we're not even close to done yet. I'm not even 93, so I'm missing some spots here. So I bought this rather cheap Battle Trumpet with +1. This you will do probably +1 and Fire Pen or +1/+1. It's the dream. If you can get 3 corners +1/+1 is best thing you can do. Basically what you're looking for is that +1 pen, just damage. Seal mana works. Any like important defensive mods like regain or any shield charge speed for you to not die as much. Deflection, all of that works. So small showcase of damage. This is the clear setup. It takes this ramps, but not as much as the other as the single target setup. So this is more than enough for T7. Is barely even enough for T8s. I wouldn't go on T8s with this setup, but the idea is to eventually get the Amazing Friends relic here so that we can have both a +1 and the ultimate. So let's go into the ultimate now. And we had Cataclysm. As you can see, 300,000, 250, like, yeah, roughly 300,000 DPS. So now they need to ramp. She needs to ramp into ultimate, and you will see when the ultimate is casted, it's like he does like a spin in place. Yeah, that's the ultimate, and that's when you see the damage goes higher. But right now it has a big cooldown, so that's why, you know, it's dealing decent damage for the current investment, but you really want that cooldown to be lower. So this is that is basically the premise. The Amazing Friends is expensive because it's very rare, and a lot of people are putting Ares. But once you get that, you can have Socialite to have +1, so you can have another one, and both also using the ultimate. That basically is doubles your damage, so you can expect without changing any gear, just adding that will put me at 3 to 5 billion damage, and then I can continue scaling the build further into the end game. Okay, skill set real quick. So for clear, I'm gonna be using Elemental Duo with Socialites, get 3 elements. Harvest Time, I think it's good because it increases the Empower skill duration. Um, but it might not be the best, honestly. But I think so. Additional Ignite is set in stone. Added Fire is set in stone, and Cataclysm for single target is definitely unrivaled. But here's debatable between Fire Explosion, crit damage, and Fire Pen. Enhanced Element is also an option. So it's a lot of mix and matching. Again, with anyone that has played minions, especially Iris, it's a nightmare to test on the dummy. It's almost impossible to accurately show what it is. So the only way you can do this is by spreadsheeting it, which I probably will. So Elemental Shock reduces an enemy resistance. We're getting some levels, so increases the effect a lot. Pain Amplification for additional duration. This first part doesn't do anything, but I want this additional duration. And to counteract the Mania, which reduces the duration but increases the effect massively. And Rhythm to autocast. This just for movement. Reaping Agony, I don't think it does anything. So instead of Reaping Agony, it could be marked, which will make the enemies take more crit damage. But the minions are not hitting; they are just applying elements. So probably instead of Speed Phantom, just go with a Blink, which has a lower cooldown, and add cooldown reduction here, so you can just blink, 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 blink everywhere. Protection Field. It's basically you take 20% less damage. It's a no-brainer to have in any minion build. Unlike defensive skills, there are interesting options here as well. Defensive buffer, it's a lot of less damage taken, but you need to generate blessings, tenacity blessings, otherwise it's wasted. Delayed pain is good to if you have ways to make you not have your energy shield charge interrupted. Obscure is only if you're going with blur. Frost shield is generically the best, but as you can see, so frost shield will be less physical and elemental, but physical and cold, but not it will not mitigate erosion. And since I have low erosion resistance at the moment, I think it's better to just have potential field. Plus, since the minions start with it, it makes it so you're not taking the hits, so it's even better, right? You're not only when you get hit you take less damage, but most of the time you're not taking the hits at all. That's why I went with this. You don't really need any support here, because Rhythm is on a 6-second interval. Protection Field lasts 6 seconds and has a 6-second cooldown, so it's basically 100% uptime. But you can add standard duration just to, in case there is like a server tick that might cause an overlap. And or you can potentially just add defensive layers here for another way of stopping your ES from being interrupted. Nourishment of Life is the bread and butter of any Sprint Magus build. It increases the growth. The growth gives them more damage. So we're doing again Pain Amp for the increased duration. CDR, since this is 10 seconds, I want to get this as close to 6 as possible. Rhythm, and Mass Effect for increased effect, of course. Has some damage taking, 4-star defensive layers. So what defensive layers does is makes it so it increases the charge speed, and it makes it so your energy shield charge cannot be interrupted for 2 seconds. And it also, 4-star already increases the charge speed, so you want this trigger, then you gain a little bit of life back, and then it goes on cooldown, so that's why CDR is good. The aura setup, I'm going with a selfless. With better gear, I probably would go for stand as one instead of selfless and add one of the defensive auras here as well. But for now, I'm just going max damage auras. Precise Deep Pain, it's a lot of damage because Affliction is basically doubling your DOT damage. So Precise Deep Pain is important. Precise Charge Frame is a little bit of pen, so it's good. Precise LA Amp is pen, so good as well. Precise Erosion Enhancement, don't go for it, because it's Erosion Pen, and we don't deal Erosion Pen, we just want it for the additional damage to life. Then defensive, I'm going with most of them except for the LRS Aura. I might go for it, I might just get rid of Nimbleness. If I don't think the evasion increases my survivability significantly, then I might go for it. For now, I've noticed having just the evasion from Nimbleness already gave me a bit of an edge in terms of defense. So that could be an argument for using emergency avoidance here as well, with Blink instead of Speed Phantom. Or even Shadow Dash for the slow. Pretty good. But what I will be doing here is, you know, getting some extra bits of evasion. And yeah, this is so candles. You want something like this. You probably want like main skill supported by servant damage, +2, and I don't know, aura effects, something like that. But you know, candles are RNG. You take what you get. I got this extremely lucky. That's why I'm using this in the main skill instead of other thing to use curse and hits. Because this ends up being more damage. This is like a 38% multiplier, something like that. And this is giving me some attack and cast speed. I'll probably go for a +2 here instead, more important. Or aura effect is also good, but this is not great with the spirit mages because it's just it's like 9% aura effect with spirit mages, whereas if you go spiders, it's a lot more. Stats, so again, cap resistances, very low ES pool in my opinion. Then so I have almost 30k armor. It's good, very good phys mitigation, and some evasion, which is, you know, 10k. It's you're evading almost 30% of the attacks. I think it's good. I think it's worth it. And also evasion allows you to take less damage from spells, something like that. Spell attack evasion is reduced by an additional 40%. So it's 40% of this. It's my chance to evade spells, but you know, I think it's good. And I want to get the energy restoration delay as close to 1 as possible, and get more recharge as well. Yep. So that's all I have for today. If you've played any character like this and you have any tips you want to share, I appreciate it. I'm still learning Iris. She's decently complex compared to the other characters, and you know, the minions themselves are in itself complex. So it's very good to pull all the information together for the community to be able to, you know, make better use of the characters and the mechanics. And this character, so as you may have seen, this almost has the damage of Whirlwind already, with half the investment. Not by any means I think Whirlwind is bad, it's just there are better things. So thank you so much if you watched until this point. I'll be doing another update in maybe a couple of days. I might play D4. If I do, I'll probably just do a final update on the character. But if I don't, I'll keep probably pushing this one. I also have an update on the Whirlwind character that I will be uploading in a couple of days. So thank you so much for everyone that has been watching, leaving, you know, positive feedback on the videos. I appreciate all the kindness shown, and see you on the next time.